Sí, señor. Anyway, no lo he juntado todavía.
Yo, Pop, let me get a cheese.
Yeah. Alright, I think we got it. Well, alright. Well, alright. Hey, my nigga ain't no need for that. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. I'm coming to make it. This one for passion. Yeah. I see my life on high beams. The bright light focused on my dreams. Like helicopter spotted by the SWAT team. But I don't worry about a thing cause I'm clean.
You are silly. Did you miss me? Hold on.
I do it for the children. You can take the children and
Papi.
bounce them on their knees. Bounce them on the knee and then sing a melody.
We back.
The Birdman man. Did you miss my?
Did you miss me? We back, man. Stop playing. I am your host, Jam Saget, and this is the Papi Store Podcast. The Papi Store Podcast. This is not one of those cookie cutter, watered down Philadelphia podcasts. This is a podcast that spotlights the unrepresented and the underrepresented Philadelphian for people who may not know the other side of Philadelphia, and I am your unofficial spokesperson. This is not one of those generic Rocky Step, Pats and Geno's, Liberty Bell, Independence Mall podcast. No, this is not it. This is not that. This is the real, and I'm going to be bringing you the real. Took some time off to handle a couple of affairs for the business side of things, and more will be revealed. But we here, baby. We here. We are here.
Papi.
That's what I'm talking about. Some housekeeping notes. If you haven't already, go follow at Papi Store Couture on our Instagram page. That's where I put most of, the things that I do is on the Instagram page. Also, if you haven't, check out the Papi Store Couture website. That's papistorecouture.com. Get you some merch. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Check it out. There's something for all members of the family. Men's, women's, even kids. So go ahead and check it out. And the podcast, follow the podcast. I know that I've been releasing the podcast on SoundCloud, but now I'm about to start releasing video versions of this on YouTube. Be on the lookout for that. But if you follow the Instagram page on Papi Store Couture, that's at Papi Store Couture on Instagram, you will get to know everything that we got going on. Plus, I'll post some funny videos up from time to time. My nephews and nieces say it's they bid, so I'm happy that people do like it. They talk about it, they laugh, and we can go ahead and connect. And that's what it's about. It's about just connecting. Again, it's for people who live here and who are underrepresented. It's for people who are moving here or, are avid fans of just Philadelphia culture, but all they know is the generic and the highly promoted side of Philadelphia. So I want to go ahead and tell you the other side of Philadelphia that is, I would say more prevalent than anything from a cultural standpoint, but just not as highlighted. So welcome, check it out, follow the brand, shop the site and listen to the podcast because it's all good stuff. And we here. While I've been away, I guess I could share with you. I've been working on some partnership and sponsorship opportunities, things that will take the podcast and the brand to another level. More of that will be revealed as time goes on, but I'm very excited about it. It makes sense, and it's something that is definitely a long time in the making and will make the experience so much better. So I have to kind of keep, tight lips. Pause. I have to. I can't kind of talk about it right now, but very soon, it will be revealed. But while I've been away, I've been observing. I've been looking around. I've been checking the scene. I've been checking, to see who was going to be my next, sturdy bull and thorough John of the week. I had some time to go ahead and, view the landscape. And, if this is your first time listening, the sturdy bull and the thorough John of the week, I highlight two individuals who are from Philadelphia or Philly based. Anyone that is just, handling business the right way, that's doing, what they're supposed to do in their community, making things better, and they just do it because it's the right thing to do. It's not, a show or a gimmick or anything like that. It's just naturally who they are, and just them being who they are, they're making the whole landscape better for themselves, the people that they represent, and the ones that they love. So, without further ado, the two people that will be this week's sturdy bull and thorough John of the week. This award goes to the youngin' Rel at Rels_Thirstbust and Dovita at Vita_Vidal. Let's clap it up for him. So first I want to go over the sturdy bull of the week, which is Rel. Rel, I met him. He would come to the gym that I go work out in. He would play basketball. He would come in there with his father, Earl. And the one thing I could say about him is that he was just super energetic when he came in. He wasn't shy. He was, he's a very confident young bull. So he was playing basketball, and then I'm looking at him, and I'm like, yo, young boy, you look familiar. You know what I'm saying? And then I realized, oh, snap, like there's a van or that rides past the neighborhood, and it's this kid's face plastered on it with juices. And it's his company. It's his brand that he is the owner of. He's the face of it, and, with his family. And let me just give you a little bit of insight about him. So he is an 11-year-old entrepreneur. He is the owner of Rel's Thirst Burst Juices. He sells fresh pressed lemonade and fresh brewed herbal teas. He has a good head on his shoulders. He has a great product. The lemonade and the teas are amazing. They taste really good. And he's a pretty good basketball player as well. He got handled like Kyrie's, and I think that's his favorite player from talking to him. But he's a great kid. I love seeing, young bulls in the city, business-minded, and, going out there and handling their business. And even though his face is on the van, I know he's not driving. He's not driving yet, but it's probably giving him some motivation. But young boy, keep doing your thing, and you are our sturdy bull of the week. Clap it up for him. Keep doing your thing, young boy. You can't guard me, but keep doing your thing. Yeah, your pop can't guard me either. It's cool. Next is Davita at Vita_Vidal. So I also met Davita at the gym, and what got me introduced, to Davita, it was one time I was getting back in the gym, working out, and sometimes I like to be kind of private when I work out. I just like to be out of the way, just do my thing. And there was a activities room, and I wanted to go in the activities room and work out, and Davita was in there, and she said, "Hey, what are you doing in here?" And I said, "Oh, I'm trying to do this HIIT workout." So if you don't know what HIIT is, it's a high intensity interval training workout. So she was like, "Well, I'm teaching a spin class. You might as well try this." Now I'm thinking to myself, yo, it's a bike. Like, I rode bikes all my life. This is nothing. I know I can do this. I've never done it before, but it's a bike. Dinos, Huffies, whatever else. What else was there? Huffies, Muffies. I don't know. Even the little joint I got from the smokers that they put together. I rode bikes before, so it don't matter. This ain't nothing new. I got it. And to be honest with you, I didn't have it. Yo, spin class is different, and she is a different instructor. It was an experience that I've never experienced before, in a good and a bad way, just due to the fact that, in a good way, because it was something new that I actually fell in love with, but bad because I was like, yo, I definitely underestimated this. So yeah, it was crazy. Like, oh my goodness, my first time. Maybe I'll talk about that on another podcast. But it's not about me. It's about Davita. And Davita at Vita_Vidal is a health and wellness coach. Again, she teaches classes, tons of classes like spin, core. She has a butts and guts class, Zumba. I've taken a couple of Zumba classes as well. That was an experience as well. But the one thing I could say, as far as, she's a phenomenal woman, but as a trainer, she's a machine. She doesn't play any games, and she'll turn you into a machine as well. So you're hearing this, take it from me, from firsthand experience. So I want to say thank you, Davita, for getting me back in shape. And we're supposed to be doing like a Tough Mudder or something like that too, so I didn't forget. But thank you. She is our thorough John of the week. Let's clap it up for her. Let's clap it up for Davita and Rel, this week's Sturdy Bull and Thorough John of the week. Now, from the thorough John of the week to a bad John of the week. If you don't know what a bad John of the week, again, if you're from Philly, you know what a bad John is, or most people know. It's just like a epic failure. The epic failure of the week. And I'm going to go ahead and give a little backstory. For this bad John of the week. I'm going to go ahead and take it back. Circa 1990s. I'm growing up in South Philadelphia. The old South Philly. And where I grew up at, just a stone throws away, was a section of the city that most people knew as Saigon, the Gon, 13th Street. To those who don't know, I'm going to give you an example of what the Gon was. Remember when you watch Harry Potter and you couldn't say Voldemort's name? They look, nope. They look around. We don't say his name. You don't say that name. The Gon was different. And I was only a stone's throw away. My people are from there. They from 13th Street. And I grew up a block away. But back in the days, it was different. If you know someone who says that they're from the Gon or 13th Street, or if you want to know, I would just say I would listen, it was different. That's all I'm going to go ahead and say. Now, I used to have to sneak around the corner because my mom used to always tell me, yo, you better not go around 13th Street. You better not go around there. Like, she would not let me and my brother go around there. And for good reason. Because that joint was crazy. I think that I could go ahead and spin a whole podcast, maybe couple podcasts, just by talking about my experiences. Like, on the Gon. And like I said, I grew up a block away. But I used to go around there because, first of all, it was just fascinating to me to see. It was just like lawlessness. And then the other thing I liked about it was I liked their stores better. I liked their corner stores better. Like, they had everything. It was popping. Like, whatever I wanted, I would just go around there, and it was just an energy. It was a different atmosphere. And then they just had a better corner store, like stores, So I would just always go around there. And then now I'm thinking back of the things that I used to get from the corner stores as a 10-year-old. Like, at real adolescence, between 8 and 12, the type of stuff they would sell us in corner stores. Now, I'm not talking about, the potential that, a kid might buy a pack of cigarettes, and not get carded, or, he might get a Black and Mild or something like that. No. I'm talking about the things they used to sell us in the stores that, like, now when you look at the city and you see, like, the crime and what people have turned into, like, how violent, like, you wouldn't even question it. Like, why would you question it? So I remember I walked to the store, got my little candy and stuff like that. And they had on the end cap, they had toys. And these were not regular toys. These were the toys for kindergarten criminals. Criminals in training. So I'm gonna tell you a couple of things that they had, and this is no cap, and then it don't be no cap in my raps. And if I'm lying, somebody just call me out on the joint and tell me I'm lying. Say, no, he frauding. They ain't never had it. They ain't never had that. But I'm telling you, this is the things that they had that young kids could go ahead and get. And I'm probably I was young. I know I was still in elementary school buying these things. You could go on the end cap and buy, first and foremost, cap guns. But the cap guns really look like real guns. They sound like real guns. And then we realized that you could go ahead and take the orange piece out of the cap gun and really make it look like a real gun. And you shoot and smoke would come out of it. These are the type of toys that an 8-year-old could buy easily. They sold knives, fake knives, that when you poke them into something, they would retract. The blade would retract into the handle. So it looked like when you stabbed someone, the blade would go in them because it would disappear. As a kid. Cigarettes. Fake cigarettes that when you grab them and you open them up, you could smoke them and smoke would come out. Serious business. I'm not capping. And I know to people who are from here, who grew up the way that I grew up, they're probably thinking like, yeah, like, duh, that's what we used to, that's what we used to do. But to the listener who maybe you're new to Philadelphia and you're like, what? Store sold this, or you've never experienced anything like this. Yes, you could buy this as a kid. You could buy cap guns that sound like real guns, that look like real guns. You could buy knives that you could poke in and then the handle would disappear when you poke it into somebody. And you can buy fake cigarettes that you would smoke and smoke would come out. You can go ahead and buy these things as a kid. You could, me being young, like that was one of the reasons why I ran around to that store, because I'm like, yo, like the store on my corner, on my block didn't have that. So I could go around there on this wild ass block in this wild ass neighborhood and they would have that. They literally had fake, training tools for young killers. It's crazy. And I think the first time I realized I knew what a smoker was when I went on 13th Street. Because I went around the corner and I'm walking in the store and it was a young lady and she was all fidgety. And she was like, can you give me, you got $1? I'll give you 4 quarters. And my young brain, I didn't process the fact that, well, $1 and 4 quarters, it don't matter. Like, all right, I'll take it. And she really gave me 4 quarters. Like, she didn't cheat me. But I got older and I realized that the reason why she did that is because her dealer didn't take change. These are the things that I had to think about growing up in that neighborhood in this city. And the reason why I'm doing this bad June of the week, I'll tell you about the experience. So in the corner store, you could always go ahead and see, like there was, like I said, in the Papi store, in corner stores, you could buy, there's always something. You could buy something. There's everything in here. You can even look at this, my background. I got candy. I got blunts. I got blunt spray. I got Slim Jims. I got shaving cream. I got air fresheners. I got nail glue, Halls, mask. Yes, You can get anything from our Papi stores and our corner stores. But I would walk in back in the, the 90s and early 2000s, and I will always see smokers. And if you don't know what a smoker is, I'll explain it. A smoker is someone who smokes crack. But I would see our smokers run in there, and they would always buy a rose. And there was a rose in a small glass, container. And then they will always run in there and grab the roses. And I used to sit back and be like, why are they always grabbing roses? Like, who are they in love with? It must be Valentine's Day every day. Why are they always grabbing these roses? And then I got older, and I realized that they were grabbing these small glass roses, and they were taking the rose out so they could go ahead and smoke crack out of the glasses. That was their crack pipe. This is how we grew up. This is how I grew up. This is how most of the people that I know from Philly, this is how we grew up. Putting things together, using, our critical thinking skills to figure out why somebody is buying roses in small glasses, or why do you need change for $1? So the reason why I'm explaining this is because for this bad joint of the week, there was some news that came out. Yo, man, politics and government is the gift that keeps on giving. So the title is GOP outraged at $30 million Biden plan to fund crack pipe distribution in effort to reduce drug harm. Now, this is from Yahoo, and I think it was by the Independent. So President Biden signed the bill for the American Rescue Plan of 2021. And in the bill, there is a harm reduction grant offered by the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. And there's a program that's been established to help Americans who are struggling with substance use to stay healthy and safe while preventing overdoses. And one of the things that was in there was that they were funding smoking kits and supplies. So a lot of people came out, oh, they're funding crack pipes and this, that, and the third. And I've heard a lot from people. I heard people say, oh, they're doing this when the crack, this is for, the whites, and they're doing this because white people are getting hooked on opioids and meth. And I hear people saying, oh, what happened? Oh, they put black people in jail for doing this, that, and the third. And my main thing was when I heard this, I said, well, damn. I guess he's 40 years too late. I mean, I guess when they put the drugs in the neighborhoods, I guess maybe being 40 years later, dropping off the crack pipes. I don't know who the hell was y'all delivery service. I know it wasn't Amazon. Amazon, and I'm not saying Amazon is drug dealers. But Amazon would have dropped the crack off and the crack pipe the same day, at least a day later. Come on, government. Come on. Who were you using? What delivery service that you going to drop the crack off 40 years ago and the crack pipes come 40 years later? Yo. You probably charge shipping on it too. And I know it's something that's sad and it's morbid and it's crazy to think and laugh at, but this is, I don't want to be like a cynic or anything like that, but this is the world that we live in. This is the world that we live in, where young kids can play with toys to play with toys that psychologically condition them to become killers. This is the world that we live in, where your government could drop crack off and then 40 years later drop off smoking kits. I don't know how I could go ahead and pull up this sinking ship. I have no clue. It was just something that, I saw while I was off, and I wanted to go ahead and discuss. And with that being said, I think that how I'll go ahead and wrap this up, because I'm not staying on here for too long today. I think that what we need in this city, even in this world, we just need a little bit more compassion, guys. We need some more grace. We need to realize that we all need each other. There's a lot of people out there whose goal is to not only take our money, but to make sure that we live in poverty and squalor, and pretty much we have no voice or wiped off the face of this earth. But there's more of us than there are of them. We all go through our struggles. We all have things that we're working on. So just be mindful of that. Just be judgment free. Be a little bit more compassionate. I really ain't got much more to say. I had some time off and I was thinking about that, and I didn't want this podcast to be too long. And I don't want to neg this out any more than I already did. But it was just funny to me. And I'm going to keep on saying that. They dropped the crack off in the neighborhood 40 years ago, and the crack pipes came 40 years later. The good US of A, guys. I'm getting out of here. I don't know what else to say. Oh, no. I do know what to say. This is how I'm going to go ahead and pull up the ship. We got Harden. So that's a good thing. Round of applause for getting James Harden. Round of applause. We got James Harden. The Philadelphia 76ers have acquired James Harden, and they got rid of Ben Simmons. So I guess that's a good thing. So this is the one thing I'm going to say. James Harden, welcome to the city. I know these Sixers fans is going to be on your ass, boy. So you better come out here and you better produce. This is really not a sports podcast, but I did want to go ahead and bring that up. But the other thing I'm going to say, two things that better not happen. I don't want any James Harden lookalike sightings going around the city, because we are a city with people with big beards, and I could already see the James Harden lookalike, the James Harden imposter memes and everything going on. I know it's going to go ahead and happen. I know it's going to happen. The second thing, we're from a city with a lot of crime. And sometimes some people with beards may do crime. So, James, if you happen to see yourself being a suspect a lot, just know you brought it on yourself. Welcome to the city, James Harden. Sixers, I mean, let's go ahead and see. I hope we pull it out. Who knows? I know what I'm about to do. I'm about to get out of here. Guys, thank you. Thank you for listening to me rant. I don't know how this is going to come across, but it was something that was on my heart. It was something that I had to go ahead and say, and I'm happy I did. So, Papi Store Podcast. Again, listen, like, subscribe, share, follow, tell people. Yeah. Go to the website, papistorecouture.com. Shop the merch. It funds it, you know. Follow the page on Instagram at Papi Store Couture. That's where I'm putting everything at. YouTube, you'll be seeing some YouTube videos soon. And I'm rolling out some really, really, really nice news in the very, very near future. So be on the lookout for that. And the only way you're going to be able to do it is if you listen to the podcast and follow the page. But other than that, we are out. Did you miss me?
Did you miss me?
Did you miss me?
Man.
We out of here, baby. We out of here.